Okay, now I turned around. Now it's the second thing. The second thing is even weirder. The second thing, I have never heard people steal their Christmas lights. It's kind of cool, actually. Hey, Pop. Can't see you. Let's see if we can get you. Poppy. I mean, it sounds like a tree is coming down. And there's no wind. I don't understand. Anyway, okay. So this thing, I seriously have never heard anybody go through this before. I do think it is a function of my extreme in social type situation. I mean, okay, so I have work with people that I interact with on a very, very short-term basis. And, like, they're not friends. I don't call them. I don't text them. I don't, interact with them at all on anything other than work. Okay? Oh, here's wind. Maybe there's wind higher and I just can't feel it. Maybe this has all been wind and I'm just lame because those trees are 40 feet tall and they're catching the wind. But then why would it only be those trees? What are you doing, Poppy? Try and freak me out? See? Pop? Very loud trees. Whatever it is, if it's a ghost or whatever, it's very loud. Anyway, the only people I'm social with would be my son, which definitely has some issues, to say the least, and my father, who severely has a severe case of Alzheimer's and can't remember anything, and that's it. That's it. Now, I talk to some people online, but there's always a delay, because I don't actually talk one-on-one with them. I do the typing thing, like, Oh, Poppy is in those nasty woods. I hope he doesn't come out transformed into a dog or something. Oh, Puppy's in front of me. What am I talking about? He's right there. You can't. Oh, you can sort of see. Anyway, yeah. So having as much time as I need to sort of process what is said and what I'm saying makes. I mean, okay. See, there's trees there. There's trees there. They're exactly the same. As a matter of fact, I think there's more trees there. Never hear anything from those trees. These ones are weird. Anyway, I'm beating around the bush because I don't really want to talk about this. Because I've never seen I've never heard of it. And I'm like, okay, how much am I losing my mind? And that actually might be it too. These trees are doing it. This is the first time ever I've heard another set of trees doing it. Maybe the ghost is following us. And they sound different. It's different from anything I've ever heard in the other one. It's so weird. It's bizarre. See, those ones aren't making noise now. And now it's here. It's following me. Anyway, I'm having a joke, either way. Again, distracting from the point of the video. The point of the video, and again, I did have a major brain injury, and I mean, it's definitely affected me. I used to be a full-time writer. And for all intents and purposes, I can't write fiction anymore. I had a major concussion. It was caused by my son. Maybe that's part of my problem. I can't, how should I perceive them? How I'm having a hard time talking about it because of the topic. I can't think ahead enough to structure a story, not a novel anyway, not that long of a book. Maybe this thing is following us. What do you think, Pop? And maybe it will come back. I'm not really stressing about it. I'm doing something else now. Whatever. Whatever. I'll either be able to do it again or I won't, whatever. I mean, it kind of sucks. I have a master's degree in writing, but now I can't write because of brain injury, but whatever. Which is hard to admit for like 900 reasons, but for all intents and purposes, for now, it's truth. Again, who knows? Maybe it'll change again. It's not something I even think about often at this point. I got lots of other things to think about. Such as the fact, I see now that I've said that and I'm like, how many bombs am I going to drop? Because this is weird and I've never ever heard of anybody doing it. I am sort of losing a grasp of like conceptual words. How should I put this? Okay, like Poppy is a cat, clearly. He's a cat. For me, this is gonna sound weird, it's really hard to explain. Somebody in that window. Yikes. Maybe it was the ghost. Anyway. For me, if somebody calls me a lady, I think I'm doing this to myself. I think I'm like scratching my coat and freaking myself out tonight. Anyway, if somebody calls me a lady, I'm like, huh? Like, I forget what that word means. I don't think it applies to me because that's a respectful word. And it's like, it takes a second, seriously, for me to register what that word means and how it could possibly apply to me. And I utterly reject that it applies to me, even though, in the most basic way, in the most logical way, yeah, applies to me. Same with woman. Like, it doesn't, and I'm not doing this as like a gender politics. I gotta come up with a different, that's just because that's the most basic, so it's not the most basic for some people. I'm not saying that I'm like alternately gendered. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if there is a respectful word that anybody would apply to me, it scrambles in my brain to the point that I can't understand. Maybe I'm getting Alzheimer's like my father. Dang, that would be rough. Except it's not that. It is definitely an avoidant reaction. It is an absolute rejection that I have any word. And if you're going to use a word to describe me that has any sort of respect whatsoever, then obviously what I thought that word meant is not what it meant, because nobody would say something to describe me in a respectful way. Seriously. It is only when talking about myself or somebody's referring to myself. I think it is so weird that people know my name. I've had a friend for 15 years. I am who's gotten emails for 15 years, emails with my name, not my, but my actual name for 15 years. And I'm like, how do you know my name? Because that's weird. That somebody knows my name is weird to me. That my coworkers know my name. Again, I work online, they see the computer, it's written. Every time they see me, they see my name probably 500 times a day. It's weird to me that they know my name, because that's like a sign of respect to know my name. And to, oh God, if my son heard this, he'd have a cow. But, to actually, it's hard to explain this. It's hard to explain this. If it's a negative thing that somebody says about me, I have no problem processing those words. Like, I know exactly what they mean. Instantaneous understanding. But if it's a nice thing, a respectful thing that somebody's saying about me, I can't understand what they're saying. Because it's got to be wrong. It can't be right that somebody would be nice to me. And so, seriously, it's gotten, that's what the thing with avoidant personality disorder, and that's the difference. That's the difference between, let's freak them out and put the lights on. They have daffodils. That's the difference between somebody that just has social anxiety disorder, where they get upset and flustered around other people, and somebody with avoidant personality disorder, where it is so integrated and it is every minute of your life that it affects you to that point. Now again, I don't know. I've never heard of this happening with other people. Then again, avoidants, when they get to this point, I don't think they talk to anybody. So maybe it's been happening and nobody's ever documented it. Maybe it's because I had a brain injury. Maybe it's because I have even less social interaction than most avoidant people, which is very possible. I'm the person, when I had COVID and I quarantined for 14 days, it was no problem at all. It was like a vacation from work because I was sick. So I didn't interact with people from work. But other than that, it was the same. I didn't go grocery shopping. I had food delivered, but then everybody was getting food delivered. That was the norm at the time, because the whole state had been shut down. So, things like, in case of emergency, I don't have one. At all. That's life. That's the reality of an avoidant person who doesn't fight it hard enough. That's what happens. That's why I have no problem with taking these trips and going away all by myself. People are like, oh my God, you went to Africa on your own, by yourself. I'm like, yeah. You went to a country where you couldn't speak one word of the language by yourself. I'm like, yeah, I did it twice in like 2 months apart. Yeah, I did. Big whoop. Would freak other people out. It's like my normal existence. So, I don't know. It's really weird. It's like I'm losing touch with the language, but again, only in very specific ways, which is, I think there's a cat on the hill. There's a cat right here. I think there's another one up there. Anyway, yeah, if somebody says something like, it just, it's like my brain scrambles it because I cannot accept somebody saying anything nice or respectful or good about me. That's not possible. Therefore, and of course I don't think, oh, that person is wrong. I think I'm wrong. I'm thinking, oh, I'm not understanding the meaning of that word correctly, or they would not have used that for me. So what's the actual meaning of that word? I swear to God, this is how my brain works now. Anyway, we're back to the end of the road. Now, whoops. Oh, nice. A little booze bottle? I don't know what it is. Anyway, back to this crazy road where they've torn everything up and people don't understand that it's actually a closed road. Maybe it's not closed. Look, they have it to the side. Maybe it's technically not closed now. Anyway, so I'm going to end this. Sorry if that's weird. I mean, this is one of those things that, is this a normal avoidant thing? For me, it's definitely related to avoidant personality disorder. I've never heard it of anybody else ever. So no, I don't think that's normal. But that's what I'm going through. And because of that, I have no idea how to cope with it other than don't really fight it, acknowledge it. I mean, this is DBT stuff. This is you let the thoughts come into your head and then go away. Don't waste too much time focusing on it. Instead, just let it go, basically. Although, if you saw the other video I just made, me letting things go is actually really difficult. See, 1-lane road. I don't know what's going on with this. Anyway, I think that's enough talking for one night. Sorry about the double videos, and they're negative on top of that. I couldn't have a good video. Anyway, goodbye.